Hey everybody, welcome back. Great to have you here. In this section, we're going to look at the 7 fundamentals of communication. And I'm going to break it down into 2 parts because there's 7 of them, a little bit lengthy. So the ones that we're going to look at today are goal-oriented, strategy, process, influence, feedback, adjustment, and meaning. So let's jump right in. First of all, every communication should have what? A goal. A lot of people forget this. They go in there and they don't even know what they want to accomplish. What do they want to have happen? If you got your goal, how would you know you actually got it? None of this stuff is considered. So let's break it down. The first thing, the absolute most important thing you need to know is, what are you trying to accomplish? Second thing is, how will you know if you're successful? Literally, how would you know if you accomplished it? And finally, what do you want to have happen? So, do you want somebody to buy something, take an action, maybe not take an action? Sometimes that can be equally good, right? What do you want to have happen? What's your ultimate outcome? If this was your dream scenario and everything went perfectly, what would that look like, and how close or how far were you from that when you left the room? That's kind of how you'll evaluate your communication and your ability to influence the other person. So take good notes. Go ahead and jot these down or print this screen out. These are the things you should always be thinking about. You should never go into a communication that's important and try to wing it. Use this as your list. Next part, and I love this is strategy. That's why I use a chessboard, because it's literally talking about, what is your plan? How are you going to get from point A to point B to point C to point D, etc., all the way through? Think it through. Quality of your outcome is usually based on the quality of your plan, right? Next, what strategies, what techniques are you going to use? That's very helpful to making sure that what? Plan goes through, plan works. You always want to be able to support your ideas. You don't want to communicate and go blah, 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 and hope it works. No. I know what the objections are going to be, and I know how to support my ideas when they have the objections. I know how to overcome them. Salesman figures if they can go out there, they've got a good product, you need the product, or you two wouldn't even be talking. What stops the sales? It's a series of objections. So salesmen, and this is being very simplistic, they basically think that if they can get over every objection, every reason that's blocking you from buying, the natural fact that you need the item will complete the sale. They're not wrong. So always be looking for, what are the potential objections and how can I overcome them? How can I make sure that people see my ideas as rock solid? And a contingency plan. There's an old expression that says, man makes plans and then God laughs. I don't know if you're religious or not, but it's a good expression, right? You make plans and then life laughs in your general direction. Life is defined as a series of problems. You're going to have this wonderful plan, this brilliant strategy. You think you nailed down all the objections, and bam, they're going to hit you with something out of the blue. It could be the building catches on fire. I don't know. The communication gets interrupted. What do you do if you only get halfway through? Do you close it? Do you wait? What do you do? So contingency plans. Always have those in place before the meeting, not after the meeting. And finally, for this section, understand that communication is a process. Think of it like a recipe. And I love this cute picture of this little girl here. She's so sweet. It's literally like baking a cake. There's certain things that you have to do first, second, and third. Imagine if you were baking a cake. You got all the processes right, but you don't have the sequencing right. So you take a box of Betty Crocker mix. You throw the box in the oven. You cook it to 350 degrees for 20 minutes. You pull it out. You empty it into the pan. You shove an egg and some water into it, and you blend it. And then you serve this to your family. Did you do all the processes correctly? Yes. Did you do the sequencing correctly? No. So In a communication, if you want it to go well, sometimes you got to plan these things out. What am I going to say first, second, and third? And the sequencing is very important. How do I build momentum is also sometimes important. If you're trying to make a sale or sell somebody on an idea of buying something or doing the next right thing or taking a positive action for them or for you, you want to build momentum as you go through and finish up on your strongest point. They say those who finish big win big. So, what is your big finish? How are you going to bring it home? I like to make my strongest point last and do it with a little bit of emotion. I think that's a good formula, and if you do that, you'll finish big and you'll win big. I'll see you in the next section.